Break them down into manageable steps. Think of effective goal setting.
Think of effective goal setting
As climbing a staircase.
as climbing a staircase,
Where each step represents an action point.
represents an action point,
A measure of progress.
a measure of progress.
Okay, all of it. Here we go. Think of effective goal setting as climbing a staircase.
Think of effective goal setting as climbing a staircase,
Where each step represents an
where each step represents an action point,
action point, a measure of progress.
a measure of
Again,
progress.
think of effective goal setting as
Think of effective goal setting
climbing a staircase,
as climbing a staircase,
where each step represents an action point.
where each step represents an action point,
A measure of progress.
a measure of progress.
There's a saying that goes,
There's saying let's go.
inch by inch is a cinch.
Inch by inch, it's a clink.
There's a saying. A saying is a common phrase that many people say, a saying. A saying, there is a saying that goes, it goes like this, inch by inch is a cinch.
Inch by inch is a
Inch by
cinch.
inch is a cinch.
Inch by inch is a cinch.
And a cinch means easy to do. Inch by inch is easy to do. An easy thing to do. It's a cinch. Oh, it's a cinch. It's easy. Don't worry about it. It's a cinch. You can do it. Inch by inch. Okay, you got it. This highlights that
This highlights that
tackling things bit by bit.
tackling things bit by bit.
This highlights that
This highlights that
tackling things bit by bit.
tackling things bit by bit
Makes them much easier to deal with.
makes them much easier to deal
all
with.
of it together. Here we go. This highlights that tackling things bit by bit makes them much easier to deal with. Again, this highlights that tackling things bit by bit makes them much easier to deal with.
Makes them much easier to deal with.
This highlights that tackling things bit by bit makes them much easier to deal with. By bit makes them easier to deal with. All right, all of it together. Here we go. This highlights that tackling things bit by bit makes them much easier to deal with. Again, this highlights that tackling things bit by bit makes them much easier to deal with. One more time. This highlights that tackling things bit by bit makes them much easier to deal with. So, what are your goals?
So, what are your goals?
If you lack a clear destination,
you
might find yourself drifting off course.
Drifting off course.
If you lack a clear destination, you might find yourself drifting off course. If you lack a clear destination, you might find yourself drifting off course.
Drifting off course.
Drift.
Okay.